Hello, welcome back to Being and Nothingness. We got a little stuck on one of the puzzles in the island of the what now? The Ikinger Koriyama creature. Yeah, in the freezer. I think this is the last 3-bean puzzle we have. It is actually not. I was planning on leaving this puzzle alone for now, and then we'll get back to it eventually. Um, Once again, it seems like, if I remember correctly, to solve this puzzle, we needed to generate 11, no, 12 red bean. 12? 11. Yeah, we need to generate 11 red beans. So yeah. But actually 12 because one of the bombs will be destroying the icicle here and creating the second blue bean. We need both blue beans to create 2 clouds and then 1 red bean here. So in total we need to generate 12 beans. So yeah, I mean we can try this again. I don't mind trying it again, but it's all going to be the exact same, to be fully honest. Okay. So the idea was to try and create a bunch of these guys. But this setup only gives us 10 beans, right? And technically 11 because... yeah. So this is 10? That is 11. And, you know, there's a certain sequence that we're going to need to pull off here to blow everything up into red beans. This seems unoptimal, to be fully honest. I will admit that fact, that it does seem pretty unoptimal. But as you can see, when we're done with this, we'll be left with exactly 10 beans. Which will unfortunately be not enough. We can create 2 clouds, but we can't create anything to stand on this thing over here. Yeah. But the general idea is to do this. Cloud, and then I can step here while this shoots this into a bomb. But obviously I'm missing a bean, and I can't just use this bean. Because this new bean will only show up afterwards, yeah. So at some point I need to be holding on to 12 beans. 12. 1 to blow up the icicle. Now either there, or at this point, I find a way to place an icicle down and hold 10... yeah, and hold 10... no, not 10, 11 bombs. So after setting all 10 bombs out, the 11th beam will come out. The 11th beam has to go somewhere. And that 11th beam will not obstruct anything here, which is difficult. Because the 11th beam also has to get frozen and then destroyed into a... it has to become a bomb. Then it has to be killed into a bean. To sort of cheat this Koriyama creature into giving us another bean. I'm gonna save this as a checkpoint. This is not the most optimal, and I can sort of see that because you kind of get this interesting little structure over here, but I'm pretty sure there's some way to get a duplication here as well. Although actually that might not be possible. In this case, this will blow up, which is bad. And this is technically equivalent to this. So pushing either of these and then pushing the other one is basically the exact same stat. So it doesn't matter which order I push this bomb or this bomb. Doesn't matter the order in which I push them. Which is why I think is inoptimal. But the other thing is that, like, if I really wanted to get a setup containing 11 beans, it's gonna have some sort of either as some sort of asymmetry, or there exists an odd number of beans in its line of symmetry. I can't leave here, can I? Oh, I might be able to. I can do this and... well, I can't escape the explosion. The explosion will occur here. It will occur here and then I'll get blown up. Oh, but I can leave like this. Ooh, wait a minute. So if I can simply get all of these out of the way, this is safe. But this is still 11, right? It's not 12 because I blew up one in exchange for one? Isn't that what I wanted? Wait, how many beans is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 11. Wait, that's good. Wait, that is... No, that is not good because... I need to blow up one. Because right now, these guys are unfrozen. I need to freeze them, then blow up the icicle again. And that cannot happen. Unless I use a bean, and I can't regenerate that bean because of all these other beans that appear. So if these guys were somehow already frozen, which clearly would not be possible. It does seem very interesting though, this setup. But yeah, quite obviously here there is I'm still gonna get 10 beans out of this. Oops, I meant to push you down first. Because after breaking all of these, I'll get 10 beans and then the 11th bean will blow you up and there's no way to replace it. So yeah, I guess that's a problem. That felt so interesting though. The problem is that this bean will never regenerate unless I already make the bomb. So the question is, can I do that and still be able to freeze these guys? Is there an exit point? Yeah. Not really. Oh, there is. Wait. Right. That is an exit point. So these guys have to be pushed from the top. But there needs to be an empty space here. Because these guys need to bounce off the water for that. But the other one doesn't need to do that. That's interesting. Unfortunately... that won't really help. Like, it does do a lot of good stuff for us. But at the moment, this guy is still unfrozen. Wait, that is okay though, right? Because this bomb was meant to be blowing you up anyway. Yeah, isn't this just it? That's 11 beans. Oh. Okay. How did we get here? I just found this setup randomly? I mean, sure, I guess. Yeah, okay. Don't know how I got here, but good stuff. There you go, yay! What? Okay, really happy to have solved that, but unfortunately there was no real solving process in that puzzle. I just found what appeared to be the most obvious setup, and then I tweaked it a little. I realized you could do something extra, and then somehow that salvaged the entire thing. Which was kind of weird, but I guess it works. Okay, that leaves one final 3-beam puzzle before the hell that is the rest of this island will begin. That is the laws of Aikinger Koriyama mitosis. Oh, B. Oh, we have not yet seen the interaction between blob and carpet yet. So this will activate both of those. So will this kill me or will this block? This will kill me. So what happens when I stand here is I move, then creature has its turn, then all buttons activate. Or then this button activates. Okay. And instead, it is technically possible for me to buffer by putting something here and then stepping here, which allows me to walk past without you noticing me. Obviously that generates a problem. Okay. However, if I could place down one of these creatures and then put you here, well, I could duplicate you and then create two of those, which creates a blob. And I can create a second blob. In fact, I could create an infinite number of blobs at this point. Hold on. However, I do want to know what happens when I push this guy in. It is grabbed, okay. It has this weird bumping sound. I think it's because the blob is trying to follow me, but it can't because it's grabbed. Yeah. Okay, now what happens during release? So if I shot and create another blob, you release and nothing happens to this blob. So blob remains as blob. Okay. The blob doesn't turn into like a stacked Koriyama creature where like there are two carpets on the same tile. It would be kind of wild if that were to happen, but also maybe a little bit useless. Except that this stacked carpet would have, I don't know, made two beams or something? I don't know. Anyway. Blob. So blob has very little duplicating potential then. Because, like, I mean, you can't be duplicated by anything, really. Not you. Because I can't somehow get you to roll into you, right? I don't think so. And you don't seem to be affected by being grabbed by this guy. So I think I'm really just using the blob's properties to solve the puzzle. Although that might not be the case? I don't know, you just seem like a blob at this point. Can create a lot of blobs, but they don't do anything. And I can technically now create an infinite number of them. I think I can also create 4. So I can create 3, I can create a 4th one. And then turn that into this, and then blob. And that should allow me to put a 4th down here. And then create another blob. So I can also technically create 4 of these. And I'm pretty sure by that logic 6 or 8. I haven't done the math on that yet, but there's a lot of duplicating going on here, which, you know, alludes to the title having the word mitosis in it. Anyway, I don't know what this means though. Because what it does seem like to me is that perhaps I want you to go away, right? But how do I get you to go away? When you are, when you are grabbed by this thing, for example, you are still a solid object. I do notice that with the space that I have here, I can't, oh, no, wrong direction. I can in fact put down one of these guys. Oh, but I can't go back. Ooh. Okay, well then maybe I have to have a second blob. The benefit of 2 blobs is that I'm basically buffered on either side. So I can do this, put down the things I want to put down, for example, and then do something like this. What was that? You grabbed the bean, created another bean because no more pink beans existed, and then the blob appeared to be grabbed in, but that's not what actually happened. It was just that you're grabbing the bean, not the blob. So now there exists a carpet here. I'm gonna call them carpets from now on because, you know, they are carpets. Are they not? Anyway, yeah, so like, how is that ever gonna help us get rid of you though? Or does it matter? Do you have any weight? Hold on, I have not yet tried actually putting a creature... Hold on, let me grab this bean, retrieve it, put you here instead. You do have weight, look at that! Now that is very interesting. But how do I get rid of you? Ah, that is another issue. Do you have weight when I activate you with a beam? Yes. Of course, I'm adding weight to something that already has weight. But I can't get rid of you, right? Maybe when you start wriggling around? No. You are consistent weight. Very consistent weight. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no way to get rid of you, right? I was gonna straight up get rid of this guy. There's no way to get rid of you, and we're basically stuck. If it were the other way around, I could have gotten a blob to be grabbed here. No, but how would I pass it? I don't know. Surely when grabbed, you don't change weights either, do you? No, you still you still act as a weight of some sort. Okay. I don't see how useful this is though. Although I suppose now... Like, if this somehow managed to remove your weight, that would be really nice, but it doesn't. Because if that were the case, I could just leave like this, but no. I cannot. And why is that? Yes, okay, hold on. No. I was thinking if I could put a second bean onto you. And then simply... Oh, what? Oh. And then simply turn into a blob that follows me. But of course, you still have weight, because you're still there. I just cannot put any carpet on this tile. That's permanent. It has to... So there has to be a weight that exists in front of me to block you. Then that weight has to go away. No, that weight has to become a walkable space. So it can still retain weight, but it must be a walkable space. Like, if somehow I could get a carpet to move in front of me, that would be very nice. But I don't know if I can do that. Laws of Aikinger Koriyama mitosis. Is there an edge case maybe where it counts as having no weight? In what case would that ever be true? In what case would this ever have no weight if its empty, like, shell or whatever already has enough weight to activate you? Like, in what case would there ever be no weight? I don't think there ever exists such a case, right? Maybe there exists a method of turning you into a Koriyama creature, so that when I push you in, I can activate something that causes you to turn into a walkable ground. So we need to find that. We need to find a way to turn a blob into a carpet. That seems like the way to go for now. It also, you know, corroborates with the title of the... It corroborates with the title. So that's nice. Okay, so I now have a blob. I now have 2 beans and a blob and 2 of these guys. If you are grabbed and then released, does that put you into some form of state? Oh, it does. That turns you into a creature. Oh, and that is instant. Like, straight up. The moment you step off a carpet, you become a carpet. So it almost feels like I want to do it here, right? Ooh, Ooh, okay, okay. I want to do it right here. No. No, no, no. Yeah, I don't want a carpet here, though. How do I put you here without you turning into a carpet here? What if there were a bean in the way? Hold on. Just gonna... Okay, you're primed right now. It's gonna have to do anything. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Whoa, that is weird. So there is now a bean on the ground, as you can see. You turn into a carpet with a colored bean on top of it, but you are not colored. Then you color yourself and then grab the bean. That is not the property that I was looking for. But that is interesting. Kind of the opposite of what I want, isn't it? Yeah, it's like you turn into a carpet on anything that isn't another carpet. So, like, you turn into a carpet here, or there will already be a carpet here. Doesn't make sense. I need an empty space here, but a bean doesn't seem to buffer you. Can a blob push a blob? I kind of forget. Yes, and that turns you into a... that seems useless. Is there any other way to do this? So I want this to happen, but you can't be a carpet right now. How does that happen? Now I want you to be a carpet there. So like here you become a carpet. That thing just became a carpet, but in a very bad spot. It's like you kind of have to grow outwards from this position, but like how do I get to skip a square? Okay, I have another idea. What if you were grabbed here? Aha! Then you would never need to be touching this square. So I could get a carpet here, you to be grabbed by this carpet. But then how would you block this for me? That wouldn't be possible. But it would be if I pushed you in, then you get grabbed while I'm standing here. That still acts as a blocker. Then I can activate something here. For example, I could put 2 beans here. I could stand here, shoot this way, remove those 2 beans from the puzzle. Then you will get released. I can push you forward. Aha, okay. That seems like a good idea. Let's start by doing that. So we'll start with the basic requirements to create 2 beans simultaneously, which is this and this. This will allow me to do that, and I'm fairly certain with one of these guys. Actually, I will need to create a second blob. And that is because, I think we discussed this before, we need this sort of buffer zone. So I need to be protected basically by blocks from either side, because I need to enter and exit. And I need to bring along with me a bean. Actually, both beans, possibly. Okay. The reason for that is because I want to put a Koriyama creature here, a carpet. Turn you into one of those. Make you pink. And then do that. Okay, so by going in one more time, I can grab out you and you become a grabby carpet. Now all I need to do is make sure that after you get grabbed, I can remove all pink beans from the level. So I need to grab all of these and someone get rid of all of these. Now by making another blob here, that should be easily doable. There you go, you are released now, and by pushing you forward, you should become another carpet. Yes, that's it. Nice. Oh, that was cool. Oh, I really like this one. This is such a hidden mechanic. It's so interesting. I feel like a scientist solving this puzzle. Like, yeah, that really does feel like what a scientific discovery that was. Okay, and that's it. That's all 3 beam puzzles done. I actually feel like I should be ending the video now because we are going to be suffering through all of these. There are, I think, 5? There are 5 4-beam puzzles. And surprisingly, only 2 5-beam puzzles. Yeah, oh, that's odd. Okay. I'm gonna take a sneak peek into them. I'm not gonna enter them, obviously. But we have Disappearing Act here, which is this one. Some interesting stuff going on here. The setup doesn't look too suspicious, but I'm sure something will be very odd about this puzzle. And there's this one. I think there's one all the way down here. Yeah, this one is huge. Look at it. It's like rivaling this in size. It's like even bigger, actually. Merrily it rolls along. And yeah, this guy is rolling along. It looks like a timer. Basically, when this is released, the roller will roll all the way here, and we're basically gonna act on a timer. Which makes sense for a puzzle that's called Merrily It Rolls Along. I also remember this being like a notoriously challenging one. Either that or, I don't know, this one was famous for some reason. Anyway, of much less mention are the 4-beam puzzles. There's this one which I think is called Short Fuse. Yeah, I accidentally entered this one. Also, a very non-suspicious setup. Very small beans, very few recipes. Very small number of beans. There's this one, which is called a Stranded Bean. I see it. It's a bean that's in here. Don't see how exactly it's stranded, so maybe it's another bean down there that's further down that I can't see. Possibly. There's this one. This one's really cool. I don't know what this one's about. 10 square feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the puzzle's only 10 square feet large. If you consider one cell to be 1 square foot. Oh, really? That is tiny. Like, given the dimensions of my character right now, that is 1 square foot. My character is basically like 2 feet tall or something. Sure. There's this one, which is a bunch of red and yellows. Bring it into bean. Okay. Interesting entry point. And this one, lots of colors and lots of clouds. This one is no turning back. Okay, have we read everything here? I think I have, right? Michelle has convinced me that the idea of turning the power on in the temple has to work, imagining the opportunities that this would open up for our research. We wouldn't have to worry about our generator overheating every time we want to use one of the teleporters, and getting Charlene on board should be easy. Finally, we have a research idea that actually saves the project money. Interesting. Okay, so... Also, we only need 4 more puzzles to beat the world. So we don't actually have to beat, like, a single 5-beam puzzle to get through the world. I think like a lot of the previous ones so far, like everything from Vine Land onwards requires you to beat at least one 5-beam puzzle to beat the island, like just any percent, but not in this case. Anyway, enough like meta-analysis. We'll be starting these puzzles next episode. So yeah, until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.